Melanie had a go at Sincere already at the end of episode 3 over one conversation, and Katie was being nosy about it the whole time. Good morning, fellow Love Island USA viewers. I am here to discuss last night's quite dramatic episode of the show. I do think it was the most entertaining episode so far this season. It felt like it was let the games begin. There was crazy popping out, the same kind of crazy that was popping out last season on episode 3, just like Huda last year. But we'll get to that in a while. Let's start with some of the earlier stuff in the game when the Cove people returned. And I think I'm going to start with the bona fide player, Bea, who chatted with Aniya about her exploring and why she had to just explore. She was feeling Sean, even though I don't think she was feeling the whole daddy stuff and being a stepmom. So why not explore? Meanwhile, Sean had to meet Gabe. Sean also telling Sincere that he was just like, damn, fuck. And now Bea made her bed and now she has to lay in it. Sean still already wanting revenge, I think. And then Bea and Gabe were talking in Spanish and Portuguese. I think them having that in common is also why Bea is really feeling Gabe, even though I think it's going to be hard to pin down Gabe. I think Gabe is going to want to be felt by everyone. But Sean pulled Bea to talk at the docks. She explained why she did what she did because she knew she probably looked crazy as hell. She said she still wants to explore that connection with Sean, which I don't know if I totally buy because I just don't think she is into the whole stepmom situation. She did admit that she wanted her cake and to eat it too. And I think this was her way of playing the game, which is why she is doing so good as a player. And Sean said that he saw her stepping on the red as closing the connection, and he wants someone that's going to step on the green. But I think she did a good job of trying to give him a different perspective of, hey, this is Love Island after all. It's early. Let's explore connections. And I don't know if that totally worked on Sean quite yet, but it might have to if he's just stuck with Kenzie, because I don't think he's actually feeling Kenzie. I think they're kissing because they have to. They are single right now and vulnerable, so why not? But meanwhile, Zach was trying to pull Kenzie when he came back from the Cove, and she denied even wanting to have a conversation with him because, you know, Kenzie really doesn't care about Zach right now, and after everything he did, even though he was pretty upfront about what he wanted. So Zach got advice from the player, Bea, whose name I'm going to struggle with all season. And he wanted to, get advice. I thought she gave great advice that he needs to be open to Kenzie's feelings and just tell Kenzie that her feelings are valid. Honestly, Bea is getting so much weird hate from this stupid, no-life having fan base about her physical appearance. And she's getting a lot of trans jokes against her, which I think is really fucking stupid. People also saying that she is gay, which she's not, but she could be bi. She likes kissing men too much, in my opinion, to be gay. And she's with fellow potential bi guy Gabe, who I think sleeps with anyone and everyone, because there is guys already coming out on social media saying they've slept with Gabe. So, slept with 52-year-old woman Gabe at 22? You don't say. But anyway, I like Bea so far, even though I'm doing my 2-week assessment before I make any final say in who I like and who I'm rooting for, especially when it comes to couples. Let's talk about Trinity next, though, who I thought had a great episode. Trinity cracked me up so much during this episode, not just with what she was saying, like the whole daylight savings time excuse for why she gave a boyfriend a blowjob while her mom was driving a car during the confessions game, which I think would be a great excuse to use in the future. But beyond her being funny in what she says, she's also going around kind of being the bone collector, collecting everyone's tea. And then I appreciated when she told Zach, after Zach tried to pull Kenzie a second time the next day, to chat with her again, and Kenzie denied him again, Trinity said that she hates kissing ass. It's not worth it, and Zach shouldn't do it either. I wanted Zach to say that from jump with Kenzie. I don't even know why he was trying after Kenzie denied him the first time, because Zach wasn't feeling Kenzie. I think Zach just doesn't want Kenzie to make him out to be the bad guy, which I totally understand, because Kenzie's being very annoying to do that when she knew what Zach was telling her. She knew she wasn't Zach's type, because he told her, but she's acting like he didn't tell her enough, and I don't like that. But I did like Trinity telling Zach not to kiss Kenzie's ass because she shouldn't. Bryce was then with Trinity there, saying he likes kissing ass as one of his grandpa jokes, which I guess brings me to Trinity and Bryce, who are forced back together. But they both said things that I thought were smart for this show, although Bryce started out their conversation with the lie, saying that he and Kayda were totally vibing. So, red flag. Bryce is a liar. I'm giving my 2-week assessment, but I'm keeping that in my assessment that Bryce is a liar, because he totally lied about that. Although I'm sure it could have just been an ego thing that he got denied so hard by Kayda. Trinity wanted to see what else was out there, saying they both did that and it makes them want to explore each other more now. And it is kind of a forced situation, but they agreed that they have to explore each other more and want to keep getting to know each other, which is smart and the way to do Love Island, especially this early. Trinity also told some of the girls that she just wanted to see what someone else was about, and maybe that got her to see what she already had. It was honestly very Libra of Trinity, like I've been saying this whole time, to those who just really know what I'm talking about when I mention my astrology, which so far has been crazy accurate so far this season when I've brought up astrology, which we'll talk about again when we get to Melanie. And some of the people out there aren't going to like this. I've been saying all week that the people are doing so much projecting onto Trinity and Bryce, but I do feel like they actually have chemistry compared to almost every other couple in the villa. It's not physical chemistry like, say, Bea and Gabe, but there is chemistry there. It does, however, lean friendly. It's because they're both so goofy, and I think that works for them for now. Trinity did say out of her own mouth during this episode in a confessional that she is feeling a friend vibe with Bryce, saying that Bryce needs to step it up. However, after saying that in confessional, you can see them in the background greeting each other with kisses. I think they're endearing. I'm not necessarily rooting for them. I'm not rooting for anyone now because I'm on my 2-week wait time. But there is a group of people out there just trying to put Trinity with the white men. They're saying that Zach is longing for her, always looking at her. I saw it early, but I don't know if I totally believe it. It is too much trying to make them the next Nicolangia. Like Zach is just yearning for her. But I don't know if I see it because Zach is a chemistryless void for one. But also Nick was the first 2 weeks of this season, Nick was actively trying to be close to Olandria during challenges. So until I see Zach do that, I don't buy it. So yeah, I still have a week and a half left of my assessment before I pick official favorites, but Trinity leaped high into the strongest contender for fave after this episode. She is entertaining and she is actually doing Love Island in a fun, go with the flow way, especially in comparison to Melanie, which I still do like Melanie for now because she's going to give excellent television. She's giving us our drama already in episode 3. But let's talk about my prediction from Jump being right about her crazy Scorpio ass. I mean, this was set up in episode 2 yesterday when I talked about it. She was talking about Kayda to Sincere, wanting to know all about Kayda. And I feel like the minute Sincere compared Kayda to Melanie, she had this competition in her mind. So when Sincere pulled Kayda for a chat, which by the way, the chat was so awkward. I thought it was going nowhere. He had a random conversations with Kayda with a total lack of eye contact for most of it. Sincere did not have game with Kayda. He seemed intimidated. But Melanie did see them chatting Melanie talking about how she's already getting butterflies for him, but she's scared because it's so fast and she's already falling. And yeah, that's what I saw happening, which is why I said from jump, if she starts to like him too much, there's no way this is going to work out. If he is saying from jump that he's a player, basically, he's a ladies' man. And Sincere is saying that he thinks Kayda's confidence is hot, like she has great confident energy. Then Sincere compared them to fish, that he can have two beautiful fish to look at. But when Melanie and Aniya talked about how he was the one that pulled Kayda, she very quickly got emotional because she feels like people always get sick of her, I guess, in past relationships. They get close really fast, but then that's what happens. So she's afraid of self-sabotaging, and she's getting in her head because she and Sincere haven't talked all day, but he talked to Kayda. I don't know. She was saying she was afraid of self-sabotaging, but that's exactly what she started doing for the rest of this episode. And then during the confession challenge, Sincere's confession is that he was texting someone else while in a relationship. And that's when Melanie started making that horror movie style smile that she was making. The editors making damn sure they were going to put that smile at the end of this episode over and over, because it was definitely looking like, Sincere, you're gonna die. That's what that smile was looking like. This might turn into a horror movie. It might be Scary Island Part 2. But Melanie was saying in confessional she's already ready for revenge. Like, this was total Scorpio to me. This was 100% jumping the gun Scorpio after a few days of knowing a guy, saying that if he cheats, she's going to cheat back. Mind you, this is after one conversation that he had with Kayda, and it wasn't even a good one. Like, she doesn't know that it wasn't a good one at all. But to do all of this after one conversation, it just shows us that this is probably going to snowball even more. Because if this is happening after one conversation, I don't know. Maybe this was her, trying to cut him off for her own sake. I mean, it was her self-sabotaging. So maybe this is her trying to sting him like a Scorpio and hoping that it scares him away so that she can move on and not hurt herself further. I can see that side of it too. Melanie was talking to the girls saying she knows he's a cheater, but she will cheat back, continuing to say that. And then she decided to go and question Kayda. So much like the episode before when she was interrogating him about Kayda, now she was interrogating Kayda about the conversation with him. It's giving cop. It's giving Melanie and Sean might have more in common than they think. Both already wanting revenge from jump. Both already interrogating people. Kayda tried to tell her that the conversation was just random. It wasn't really a lot there. Sincere was talking to Casey, talking about how he wants to know right now if she's already feeling some type of way about him just having a conversation with another girl. Casey says that Melanie is trying to go all in early, but I'm like, Casey, isn't that what the fuck you're doing with Aniya? Because Casey seems all in on Aniya. I haven't seen his head turn another direction except for Aniya, so I thought that was a little hypocritical advice coming from KC. But Melanie is saying that she doesn't care about him flirting. She's saying that it's about him not being honest and that she won't die on the hill of Sincere. I don't believe that. This is when it was starting to sound like coulda, because this was said during a confessional. The control freak was coming out of Melanie here. As long as she doesn't, become a victim like coulda, then she won't get on my nerves. Like, she can't be doing all of this shit and then cry about it, because I'm not going to be content with that at all. But Sincere pulled her to chat about the problem, tried to give his point of view on what he did. He's saying he didn't even really explore. He just had a chat with Kayda. Melanie then was asking what her name was. She didn't remember Kayda's name, started calling Kayda Katie. So now we're going to have all these think pieces about how Melanie said that she doesn't like when girls say they are girls because she's not one, yada, yada, yada. Look, as someone who sucks at names, even when I cover Big Brother on this channel, it takes me a week to remember everyone's name. And someone scolded me in the comments yesterday about how it's Bea and not Bea for Beatriz. So I understand that Melanie might not have known her name after 24 hours or less. But do I think she was being shady about it? Yes, I do actually think she was being shady about it. But so what? Welcome to reality television. Also, Kayda was being shady herself, in my opinion. She was enjoying the show, enjoying them having an argument about her. She has this confidence about her, even though I think a lot of it is false bravado, if you can tell by her kissing. But people have also dug up Kayda's past, being a mean girl when she was a teenager. There's a past video of her fat shaming a friend who wasn't even fat. As I've been saying this season already, people can grow from when they're a teenager. However, I do get the vibe that she's going to have a harder time getting along with the women. She's kind of giving Ice Queen, or at least a wannabe Ice Queen, and I don't hate it. I mean, that's a good villain too on a reality show. But the minute she cries, her fake shtick is going to go out the window, and I won't like that. But if she stays an Ice Queen, I'm here for it for sure. But yeah, Melanie had a go at Sincere already at the end of episode 3 over one conversation. And Katie was being nosy about it the whole time. Also, being shady in my opinion. So Sincere, Mr. Ladies Man, I don't think he's going to be the type that is going to be able to be controlled or want to be controlled by Melanie here. So I think the mess is just getting started for these two, as I predicted from Jump in my review for episode 1, because she was being a total Scorpio, talking about how she won't die on a hill, she doesn't care about Sincere. But that to me was just like Kenzie, who really, really, really doesn't care about Zach, but pushed Zach in the pool purposely during the challenge, and then told Kayda that she wouldn't go up to Zach in a bar, even though she went up to his door and chose him. So just nonsense there by the girls. Why do y'all do that? Like, let me know in the comments why y'all act like you're unbothered when you're bothered. Some of my last few notes, though, speaking of Kenzie, she was wooed hard by Gabe, although I think he's going to be there to woo everyone. But she did pull Gabe for a chat. She was her awkward self, talking about how she loves to dance, and he says he loves dancers. She's saying she could feel the energy from Gabe. She was definitely giddy over Gabe, but I just think she's easy. Kenzie made the comment about how he made her kitty purr, which for the first time it made her a little endearing to me, because she just has zero game. Zero game. Is this just what a country bumpkin is? Because, I'm from the West, and although we have country, the South is where I think of country bumpkin. So is this just country bumpkin, Kenzie? But the fans that I'm not going to like are the fans that are already clinging on to Kenzie, and that is the pitying fans. And that's going to annoy me. I don't know if I can deal with people pitying Kenzie because her energy just isn't jiving with anyone else. And they're going to do all of this under the guise of she is good television, but I feel like she's pretty one-note television, and I feel like it's going to get old fast if it's not already. And I know I'm more critical than most, but it's already getting a little old to me with Kenzie's whole shtick. It's just a lot of insecurity there this season from her. Casey and Aniya did not get a lot of airtime in this episode. When we did see them, I felt like their kisses were still awkward. There is awkward energy there. More awkward energy than there is chemistry, but I still want to like them. And I think the awkward chemistry is coming from Aniya. And with the new guy coming in, I think he could turn Aniya's head, though I feel like Melanie might be more of his type than Aniya again, which I don't understand. I think Aniya is the baddie on the cast because she has the full package, but whatever. Casey is saying that people should explore. That's what he was telling to Sincere. They shouldn't go all in from the get-go, but he's acting like he wants to be tied down from jump with Aniya. So far, he's only had eyes for Aniya, so Casey might need to take his own advice. But anyway, I think Trinity is doing things right after getting so much hate from fans in episode 2. Clearly the fans that have only watched the last 2 seasons of Love Island and have only ever seen Girls in season 6, which was good television, or people trying to be fake Girls last season. Last season also had too much exploration where people were not actually trying to make connections, whereas I feel like Trinity and Bryce, they have a vibe. Is it more friendly? Right now it looks that way, but I would much appreciate more people, having this couple to fall back on, but still exploring at the same time. Especially this early in the game, it's much more healthy than totally crashing out and spiraling over one conversation like Melanie did. However, it did make for an excellent dramatic episode, and I'm looking forward to tonight.